There is interest in societies worldwide that do not want the general population to know their power. And this goes back into history. I guess the church and those, who are really in charge with big information, with the real big information, they all want to keep us illiterate.
What do you think that your purpose is in what you're doing? Why do you want to spread this knowledge that you've got? What's your goal with this entire project?
This is not only a purpose, this is a burning desire.
Yeah.
I want to share my knowledge that has made me such a happy person. I want to share this with as many people as ever possible, because we need this. The world needs this knowledge. It is absolutely necessary to find the turning point in history.
Do you feel like this knowledge is... There's no doubt these days that people are waking up, and that the kind of things that you're saying, the teachings that you're talking of are definitely more widely spoken now than I've thought previously. Admittedly, if you're on that path and you're then looking for it, you're going to see more of it.
Right.
But there definitely seems to be more and more people, I'm finding, that are, questioning what more there is, and learning about the positivity, breeding positivity, learning to live their lives, thinking more consciously about what's going through their mind and how that's affecting them and the people around them. So what do you think that there might be reasons why it would be beneficial if people don't all think the way that you do? Do you think that there's a reason? The way that you think has been, it's existed, it's been taught, and it's come down and down and down. Why does everybody not know this already?
There is interest in societies worldwide that do not want the general population to know their power. And this goes back into history. And maybe we want to share this, or maybe not. You're going to decide. All the royals of the world wanted to keep their populations stupid and dull. This is why Chinese emperor, for instance, had a rule. The population all had to use opium, because it made them dull. They were manipulative. So, slavery, the owners, the monopolies of the world, they had slaves. They wanted to keep slaves illiterate. The church wanted to keep populations illiterate. And they fought against those personalities in the past that detected things that the church didn't want them to detect. I guess the church and those, who are really in charge with big information, with the real big information, they all want to keep us illiterate. This is forces. And from the royals, it went to those that own the monopolies. And the monopolies is information, energy, and food. Information, whatever information, way of information. That's the three main monopolies. And they want to keep people illiterate. Not verbatim, but illiterate in not knowing. And they want followers that follow the followers. that do not question information that they want to share.
So would your advice be for people to make their own judgments? How?
Oh, yes.
And what would you advise somebody to when they're starting to open up to this? What would be your top tips for learning to question what you're told and think differently?
Well, one of the major aspects of what I'm thinking of very important is ask yourself, who do I listen to? Which person, which media do I listen to? Which inner voice do I listen to? Mm-hmm. Do I listen to the negative voice inside of me, or do I listen to the positive voice inside of me? Mm-hmm. That's beginning within me. Then do I listen to the people who always complain about the weather? I would say it doesn't really make sense. I respond to the weather adequately. I take the best out of each weather situation that I can. And if it's stormy and raining and cold and I don't want to get out, then I'm sitting in front of the fireplace and reading a book or whatever. Or I go out for a walk and say, well, this is really something. I love it. You know, I love the rain in my face. Mm-hmm. You know? It's just my decision. It's my choice. Those people who complain about the weather think they are the victim of the weather, which they are not. They can feel like a victim, but this is just nothing else but their thinking. Nothing out there in the outside world has what you might call an intrinsic meaning, has a meaning in itself. The weather has no meaning in itself. It has a meaning to you and to me and to everybody else. And the meaning is different from person to person.
And you're touching on something here quite poignant, I feel. So if you would consider yourself a victim of the weather, you might be in a certain mindset that means that you consider yourself a victim in multiple situations. How this victim mentality that I know that you've spoken about how dangerous it is before, how do you identify within yourself that you might be, you know, displaying that as a mentality, and how do you consciously work to rectify that? And because when you are in a state of victim mentality, the one person that you're harming the most is yourself, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you fix that?
I fix it by learning if the weather is in a way that I used to judge bad. This is a reaction. This is without thinking. This is without thinking. I do step back a little bit and say, what's the best I can make with this weather? And then I can decide to sit in front of the fireplace or do whatever I choose. But I mean, it's pretty obvious. 6 weeks, sunshine, 30 degrees centigrade, you know, everybody is happy, everybody goes to the swimming pools and, you know, and to the sea and swimming and everybody is happy, except people who own a garden or who grow food on their fields. They do not enjoy it. So is it good weather or is it bad weather? It's a question of perspective. Mm-hmm. And I can't choose my perspective. I have a choice.
So it is perspective based.
Yeah. You know, one person is hated by another person and loved by a third one. Huh? Who is right? So, no person on this planet, no phenomenon, whatever kind, on this planet has an intrinsic meaning. It's all a question of how do I see it? What perspective do I choose? And then the best perspective I can choose is the one that makes me happy.
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't change the weather. I don't change the weather.
No. And you can't change the weather. So
No. But I can change my attitude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My name is Dr. Wulff, a leading expert in mindset transformation and personal success. By joining me, you will unlock proven strategies to elevate your mindset and transform your life. Explore more in the video description.